How many vowels do we find in English? Many students with no prior knowledge in phonetics would say 5. I, E, A, O and U. However, this answer is based on orthography, with little or no relationship to speech. If we apply articulatory phonetic terms, we are confronted with a completely different definition. Vowels are speech sounds that involve pulmonic air and a free air passage to the vocal tract. They cannot be produced with glottalic or velaric air, so these two types of air stream are clearly out in the production of vowels. Unlike consonants, which can be described among others in terms of different places of articulation, vowels cannot easily be described by means of articulatory criteria. Instead, they are defined in terms of an abstract vowel space that serves as a coordinate system known as the cardinal vowel chart. The development of this cardinal vowel chart constitutes the first focus of this e-lecture. Further topics that we will deal with are the difference between the so-called primary cardinal vowels and the secondary set of cardinal vowels. Let us start with the development of the cardinal vowel chart. The cardinal vowel chart defines 4 reference points in purely articulatory terms, representing the limits, the extreme limits of possible vowel quality. These limits depend on the tongue position, that is, where in the mouth does the tongue create some sort of narrowing, and what about tongue height. Hence we can define 4 extremes. Now, first of all, there's a vowel that involves the highest possible tongue position in the mouth and the most front quality. Here it is. E. Now this is the highest sort of E I can produce. And here is the place where the narrowing occurs. Now the second vowel that serves as a reference point is the opposite. It is a vowel which involves the lowest possible tongue position, that is, you have to open your mouth, and the most back quality. The vowel would be something like this. Ah. So now my tongue is back and low in the mouth. Now we need 2 further points. The next one is a reference point where the tongue is extremely low and has a very much front quality, the most front quality, and the result would be something like ah. And finally, we need a vowel that is produced with a back quality, where the tongue is extremely high in the mouth. The result is something like ooh. As a result, if we combine these extreme points, we get a quadrilateral. And now in this quadrilateral, if we take it out of the mouth, we have 4 reference points. Here they are: E, A, O and U. In a modified form with clearly defined geometrical proportions, this quadrilateral may now serve as a reference model for the definition of the articulation of further vowels. The proportions of this reference model or coordinate systems are clear, and this is how to construct it. First, we need a top line which is 4 measures in length, and it is drawn horizontally. Then we need a second line, which is the right hand vertical line, which is 3 measures in relationship to the 4 measures of the top line, and the angle between the 2 lines is 90 degrees. The bottom line is half as long as the top line, and again we have an angle of 90 degrees between the vertical right hand line and the bottom line. And finally we now link the free ends of the 2 horizontal lines so that we get the basic dimensions of the cardinal vowel chart. This reference chart allows us to define 2 main parameters for the classification of vowels. On the one hand, we have the parameter front, so that is vowels that are produced in the front of the mouth, so where the position of the tongue creates some sort of narrowing in the front of the mouth. And they are contrasted with back vowels, where the narrowing occurs in the back of the mouth. The second parameter is the parameter high versus low. Vowels that are produced with a high tongue position and vowels that are produced with a low tongue position. So we get our 4 reference points of the cardinal vowel chart. E, which would be a high front vowel, A, which would be a low front vowel, O, which would be a low back vowel, and U, which is a high back vowel. Between these 4 main reference points, we can now insert 2 auditorily equidistant steps in terms of 2 horizontal lines and can define further vowels. So here are our horizontal lines as auxiliary lines, and the 2 further vowels are another front vowel, which would now be mid-high, E, a second one would be A, and here we have a back vowel, O, and another one, O. With the third parameter, the parameter of lip rounding, you may have noted that some of the vowels I've just produced were produced with rounded lips like U, others were produced with spread lips like E, and with this parameter we can now create 2 sets of cardinal vowels, the primary set and the secondary set. Let us look at them in more detail. Here is the primary set of cardinal vowels. Cardinals number 1 to 5 are produced with spread lips. Here they are. E, E, A, A, O, and these vowels I've just produced are produced with spread or unrounded lips. Now cardinals number 6 to 8 are produced with rounded lips. Here they are. O, O, U. Now if we reverse the parameter of lip rounding, we get a secondary set. Here it is. Now the secondary cardinal vowels have received the numbers 9 to 16. Here is my advice how you can produce them. Produce the respective primary cardinal vowel, keep the tongue in exactly the same position, and then change the lip position. Let's do it. So here is cardinal number 9. I first produce cardinal number 1, E, and then I round my lips. E, E, is cardinal number 9, a rounded front vowel. Cardinal number 10 next. Cardinal number 2 is E, so I produce an E first. E. And there you are, cardinal number 10. Here is cardinal number 11, and again I first produce cardinal number 2, that is with spread lips. And I've rounded my lips to get cardinal number 11. Cardinal vowel number 12, again, let's first of all produce cardinal 4, and then I will round my lips. Number 4 is A, and A with rounded lips. A. And here is cardinal number 13. First of all, the back vowel, cardinal number 5, would be O, and O with rounded lips. O. And now the remaining cardinal vowels, 14 to 15, are produced with spread lips. So I first of all produce cardinal 6 with rounded lips. O, and then I unround my lips. O. Cardinal number 15. Again, first of all with rounded lips, cardinal number 7. O. And finally, we have to produce cardinal vowel number 16. First of all, cardinal 8 with rounded lips, oo, and then I will unround my lips. Oo. And here we are with the primary and secondary set of cardinal vowels. These two sets can now be extended by a set of central vowels, that is, vowels that are neither front nor back. Let us draw some auxiliary lines for their representation on the chart. First, we need a central line from the middle of the top line to the middle of the bottom line. This allows us to define a set of central vowels. The central vowels are extremely hard to produce. They involve an articulation between front and back, and the lips are in a neutral position. The main central vowels are here the two high vowels, mixtures between E, U and U. So it's something like U, something like U, a fronted U, which would be something like U. Here we have, for example, this is an interesting one, the so-called schwa. Now the schwa is the central vowel that exists in many languages of the world, so a vowel like in English, mother, would be a good example. Then we have this low, mid-low vowel, and finally the low one would be the vowel a, as in German Mutter. So here we can relate these central vowels already to some existing vowels in some languages of the world. To complete the vowel chart, we have to draw parallels, one with the back and one with the front of the vowel chart, and they extend from the bottom middle of the central line to the upper end of the vowel chart. And finally, we need intermediate lines, so these dotted horizontal lines that complete the geometrical pattern of the cardinal vowel chart. So here is the cardinal vowel chart in accordance with the International Phonetic Association. Depending on the position of the tongue, that is more precisely, depending on the location of the narrowing in the vocal tract, vowels can now be defined as front, central or back. So a vowel like E would be a front vowel, O would be a back vowel, and A would be a central vowel. And the second parameter, tongue height, allows us to define vowels in terms of high vowels like E and U, mid-high vowels like E and O, mid-low vowels like A and O, and low vowels like A and A. This chart now serves as a reference system for all sorts of vowels that are used in the languages of the world. They can be classified by means of reference to these cardinal vowels. As a result of this first e-lecture about the articulation and phonetic description of vowels, you should now have understood not only how vowels can be classified using articulatory criteria, but also how the cardinal vowel chart can be constructed. In our second e-lecture about vowels, you will find out how the vowel chart can be used as a reference system for the classification of different types and realizations of vowels. One thing should be clear already. The orthographical definition of vowels, which are mentioned at the beginning of this e-lecture, should no longer play any role at all. And secondly, to become familiar with the system of cardinal vowels, you have to practice a lot. I recommend that you use the interactive tutor on the Virtual Linguistics Campus with its ear training options, or simply join our phonetics and phonology classes where you are supplied with a wealth of exercise material. So see you there.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us. Welcome. So today we'll be talking more about articulatory phonetics, which again is the study of the production of speech sounds in the vocal tract. If you haven't already, please take a few minutes to look at our other videos in this series on describing consonant sounds and navigating the International Phonetic Alphabet. In this video, we will be talking about how linguists describe vowel sounds. So just a couple of notes. First, again, like in the consonant video, we'll only be talking about the phonetics of spoken languages rather than signed languages, and we will be talking about the vowel sounds as they are used in North American English. There are two types of vowel sounds, monophthongs and diphthongs. Monophthongs involve one vowel quality, and diphthongs involve two vowel qualities. Now, when linguists are describing vowel sounds, we have to rely on a different set of criteria from what we used in describing consonants, because, remember, vowels do not involve a constriction of airflow in the vocal tract, so our tongue doesn't approach an anatomical landmark like they do with consonants. So the three criteria that linguists use when describing vowel sounds are height, backness, and roundedness. Let's talk about each of these in turn. Height refers to how high or low the tongue is in the mouth when producing the vowel. For example, consider the vowel sounds E and Ah. If you say both of these vowels in succession, you should feel your tongue going up and down as you say E, Ah, E, Ah, E, Ah. In terms of height, vowels are either considered high, mid, or low. E is an example of a high vowel, and Ah is an example of a low vowel. Backness refers to how far front or back the tongue is when producing the vowel. As with vowel height, this can be tricky as it takes some practice, but consider the vowels E and Oo. If you say these vowels in succession, you may notice that your tongue is moving forward and backward as you say E, Oo, E, Oo, E, Oo. In terms of backness, vowels are either considered front, central, or back. Remember that E is a high vowel, but it's also a front vowel, while Oo is a back vowel. The third criteria that linguists use when describing vowels is roundedness. Roundedness means whether or not the lips are rounded when producing the vowel. Now this is something that's very easy, as you can feel and see when you are producing a rounded sound, or when the person that you're talking to is producing a rounded sound. So again, take the two sounds that we just used, E and Oo. Oo as you can clearly see and feel, is a rounded vowel, whereas E is not a rounded vowel. E, oo, E, oo, E, oo. Just like with consonants, there is a specific order that linguists use when describing vowel sounds. It is height, then backness, then roundedness. For example, oo is a high, back, rounded vowel. A is a low, front, unrounded vowel. Remember, so far we've only been talking about monophthong vowels. If we want to categorize diphthongs in terms of these criteria, we must do so for the starting vowel quality as well as the ending vowel quality. But we won't worry about that in this video. Alright, so what have we covered in this video? We talked about the criteria that linguists use when describing vowel sounds and the order that those criteria must appear in. And that's pretty much it for this video, but be sure to check out our other videos in describing consonant sounds and how to navigate the International Phonetic Alphabet. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.